one browser.
All right, hold on a second. Greg, you there?
I am.
Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome to Just Me Hanging Out. This is Heather Havenwood with the Win podcast. We're going to do it a little differently today. So you're going to be listening to us on Podomatic, on Renegade Nation, as well as iTunes and Stitcher. But you might be watching me live right now in my studio at home in Austin, Texas. And I'm going to be interviewing today Greg Smith from the CEO of Thinkific. Greg, how you doing? You there?
I'm great. Yeah, this is so cool. We've been doing a lot of Facebook Live lately, but we have yet to do a live interview like this. This is awesome.
This is cool. Yeah. So you and I are just going to be talking, and you and I do not have Facebook Live open right now. So we have no clue if you're down below doing comments, just so you know, right? So we have no idea. We're just going to do this interview, and we're probably not going to look at the comments. We'll look at the comments later when we get off. So my name is Heather Havenwood. You're probably on my timeline listening to this and watching this. So again, Renegade Nation, or people that you're listening to Win with Heather Havenwood, we are doing this live, like simulcast video where I'm looking at Greg while he's in his office in Canada and I'm in Austin, Texas, and we're going to be stripping this audio, making it into a podcast. So this is what I call multi-dimensional ways to create content. And it's a perfect kind of thing that we're doing with the CEO of Thinkific. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Greg. So Greg Smith is the founder and CEO of Thinkific, a software platform that makes it easy to create, market, and sell online courses. And Greg was working as a corporate lawyer for one of the largest firms in the country when he launched an online course on the side. And revenues from his course soon surpassed his salary, his big fat salary as a lawyer. And Greg jumped off the corporate ladder and into online education full time. Since then, Greg and his team at Thinkific have helped thousands of coaches, authors, speakers, and companies create and sell their own online courses as a way to build their brands or revenue. So, Greg, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome. Excited to be chatting with you.
I get to have a lot of conversation with you because I've been in the online information marketing business forever, and it has changed so much. I mean, I don't know what you used when you first got started, but I know for me, it used to be HTML pages, and then you had to move it over to a wish list, which was kind of new in 2006 and 7.
FTP.
Oh my God, FTP it, and you had to upload a doc. I mean, it was really challenging. So take us a little bit to that time, or what was that first course that you created? Take us to that, what I call that bridge from corporate, what happened, and take us from there.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, my online kind of business presence started before there was even websites. I remember the bulletin boards way back then. But yeah, first course, that was, I think the WordPress was there. I think we might have, no, initially it was just HTML pages and then eventually went to WordPress. I was lucky in that when I got started, so I was, when I actually started the course initially, I was actually just in law school, was teaching a course at university on the LSAT, and decided I wanted to start a blog. So started with a blog and then decided to put together an online course. And my brother, luckily for me, was a software developer. So I said, look, I'll do the content, you get the course up and running. I don't think he fully believed that it was going to fly. We actually had a bit of a bet as to whether it would make any sales. And so he said, look, let's just do kind of minimum effort. We'll do it as a part-time thing because neither of us have a lot of time. We'll put something up and then, I'll kind of prove you wrong. It won't go anywhere. I hope it does. And, he treated it with the utmost respect and did a really good job of everything he did. And, but anyway, so we had a bit of a bet as to whether anything would happen. We launched it in the first month. We sold 10 copies and thought, hey, and that was 10. There was no launch, there wasn't an email list. It was just put a link on a website to pay money to get these videos and this course that we created, and 10 copies sold. So we thought, okay, there's something here. So that's when we kind of doubled down and continued to grow it.
So a couple questions. One, what was the price point of the first product?
First one was $29. So 10 copies, $290. So not a huge, no like six-figure launch here or anything like that.
I know that there's a ton of people out there with a six-figure launch, but I remember the moment when I first got my first dollar from some stranger online, and there was like what? There's a shift, what I call making your first dollar online. Some stranger you've never met has given their credit card for something you put out there. That's the shift. Who cares for the $1 million launch? I think that's the first shift I think everyone has to go through. It's like a coming through, I don't know, like a birth canal or something. I think it
We
really is.
created a bit of a ritual about it. So every time a sale was made, we would play Eye of the Tiger and dance to the music.
Oh my God, if I had Eye of the Tiger now, I'd totally play Eye of the Tiger. Okay, that's awesome. But I have to ask, are you the older brother or the younger brother?
I'm the older. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
Well, there's 10 kids in my family, but between him and I'm the older.
Okay, so he wanted to prove Big Brother wrong, is what he wanted to do. I think.
Well, I think he was excited about it and he hoped it would work. But he was kind of thinking, look, we might need to do more than just put a link up on the site and say buy my course. But that worked. So then that was the sign that doing more was a good thing. He just didn't. He was really smart. He wanted to go the MVP route. Like, let's just get something out there, see if anyone cares. I know you love this idea. I'll help you build it. But if anyone cares, then we can put the effort in.
So what was the first course? What were you selling?
It's for the LSAT. Everything I was teaching was for the law school admissions test. And then the first course was just a mini portion of it. I wanted to teach the whole course that I would teach in 3 days in a classroom, but we just did a couple of hours of it. So just a mini portion around logic games, which is a small section of the LSAT.
I mean, I almost went to law school. So, but anytime you're doing MCAT, LSAT, you have what I call a hungry crowd, right? They want to take that course once, so you had a hungry crowd. So cool. So you started there and then you moved from that. So that's a huge leap. What year was that?
Originally, I think I got that up and running in 2005.
Okay.
And that sort of was ongoing and growing throughout me going through law school and practicing as a lawyer. And then I jumped full time into online education about 5 years ago.
So tell us how Thinkific happens, because now what this is, I mean, to put it an understanding of people don't know what it is. I mean, I'm going to let you explain from your vision, but for me, as a creator, as an author, as a speaker, it's a easy way to get the information out with what I call the lowest technology barrier. And that's the beauty of where we're at now in today's world, right? We have so many different ClickFunnels, we have other things out there that are allowing creators like ourselves to be able to put out content at a faster rate. I think that's really the keys. Someone always asks me, well, I want to create a course and think about it. Like, to me, it's like what you guys did. Put it out there, and then you can build on it if people like it. Get it out there as fast as possible from the moment of creation, thought process to actually get it out there. So tell me, like, how did you guys go, we should create this software? We go from the education to the software business. Like, how did that happen? Was that a little brother thing?
Well, it was really I mean, he certainly drove a lot of the ideas around the product, and it was very much about solving my problem. I was lucky because I had a little brother I could call who's a super smart software developer and say, hey, can you build this for me? But even with him in the family doing all of that work, the technology was the biggest thing holding us back. So we could be this big, but we're small still because of technology. And so we built Thinkific to solve my problem, which was someone who wants to create their own business, build it around their own brand, and have full control over everything, just as if they had their own software development team setting everything up for them. And that was really the goal. And we started getting, when my course took off, we started getting other people calling me and saying, how did you do it? Can I use your software? And at the time, we couldn't give it to them. So about 5 years ago, we set it up so that we could. And then it really just grew from there by creating something that everybody can go and launch their own business under.
It really is smart. I mean, I'm kind of jealous because I wanted to create it myself, except I don't have a really smart younger brother with software. But it is true. I mean, I guess I've been in the industry since 2001. Okay, when those days you went to seminars and you sat in a room and they did a 90-minute pitch, and then you ran to the back of the room and then you gave them a credit card and they wrote your number on a piece of paper. I know y'all feel like this is 1980. I'm talking about 1910. It really isn't. And then they would give you this like box full of stuff, or I call it thud factor. Did you ever have this, like the heavy stuff, like binders and the? Am I really dating myself? Maybe you're just too young.
No,
for that.
I when I wrote the bar exam, we had to drive across town and pick up our thud factor box, which now it's a bit different because they're not trying to sell you anything. This is actually what you need to read to write the test. But it was literally like 6 binders, each one about a foot thick, and they're like, great, this is what you need to prepare for the exam.
Right. Yeah. Here you go. Here's a thud factor. Well, that was the thud factor of the seminar business. Like the more expensive you ask for money, like say $2,000, $3,000 price point, what I call the bigger the thud factor had to be. Where they had to go home with like all these binders and CD-ROMs and like cassette area, whatever. Anyway, I feel like I'm really dating myself. And then things started shifting where we could go, shift it online and go, oh, we're not going to send you a box of your stuff. We're going to send it to you digitally. Like, that was a revolution, 2004 and 5. I remember I went through that. And then nowadays it's all about, what's a book? I don't even know what a binder is. So tell us about that process. Where are you guys at today? How long y'all been around? 5 years, you said? 4 years?
Four and a half, getting closer to 5. Yeah.
Okay. And so is your mission just the back end of the course creation, or is it the front end too? Tell me more about the actual software.
Well, the idea, it's really to be the end-to-end. So you mentioned it's got to be easy to set up, and I totally agree. You want to be able to get something out. So the concept is, I'm at the point now where if I have a few videos shot, I can launch a course in under 3 minutes. So that's really, we want to shrink that down to the easiest possible thing. Now, at that point, you still probably want to go in and finesse and add some marketing language. But I can have a course up and running, ready to accept payments, ready to sell. I could send someone a link and say, hey, my course is ready. You can sign up. It's not going to look perfect yet, but 3 minutes, I can set that up and running. At that point, we also, though, don't want to leave you hanging when you grow. So my course started $29, sold 10 copies in the first month from a simple link to buy the course. And now it's, if thousands of people have gone through and taken it. So we want to make sure that built into Thinkific is also all the tools you need to grow with it to create those massive launches and have those massive membership sites and have access to your courses long run. And so we have clients like Hootsuite or universities or big global companies as well who have millions of users on the system. So we're able to scale to that level, but the concept is really to make sure that it's super easy for you to get started, but then you have all the tools you need to scale.
So thinking about scaling for just a second, I mean, I'm thinking of like a university setting where this is a feature I'm asking about. A feature you go in and there's 10 modules and you don't get all 10 modules. You get you're allowed to get one, and then when you're done with one, you get two. Is that a feature that you guys have been able to create with Thinkific?
So we have a few ways of kind of restricting content. You can have some private stuff and hidden stuff. You can drip content over time. So you can say, you don't get this until next Tuesday, that kind of thing. But one thing we haven't done yet is where you don't get module 3 until you've finished module 2. I think it's something we'll add in the near future. But I have mixed feelings on that. I think it's good in some cases, but it's also kind of like selling someone a textbook and saying you can't flip to chapter 10 until you've read the first 9, which to me as a learner can be frustrating. So we haven't done that yet. It's something that's pretty easy for us to add. So we'll probably add it pretty soon because I do see people ask for it every once in a while. But I generally when people buy my course, everything is unlocked to them immediately. And I find that works really well because if they need to jump ahead or jump back, everything's always there for them.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I just remember I just got my, believe it or not, I got a master's degree in digital online marketing. Can you believe that? From Full Sail University in 2011. And the entire course was online, with video instructors. And, I never really met my teammates via my voice phone. We had to do projects. And I just thought, wow, this is so cool to actually do a university setting like this. And so I think that's what you guys are doing. You're creating that gap, and you're helping not only the institutions, but you're also helping the people like me who just want to create an amazing course and leverage that and be able to grow. So are you guys, I'm trying to think of questions that people are going to have, right? So if someone goes, hey, Greg, I don't have a credit card processor. I have PayPal. Can I use you guys? Or how does that work? Do I need to go get a SAM card? How does that work?
Yeah, so I mean, the idea is we've taken care of everything. So the payment processing is built in. We have a direct integration with Stripe and PayPal. So when you sign up, actually through us, you can just basically connect your bank account. And when you sell a course, the money goes directly into your account, which is great. So there's no kind of waiting for fees to transfer to you. You make a sale today, you get instant access to the funds, which is awesome. And everything else. So I mean, the other big things I think you're looking for what people might ask about getting started. One of the first areas I find people struggle with is even how should I produce the content? So should I be recording video? Should I be do I need a microphone? Do I need lighting? What should I get set up that way? So we've got a lot of guides around helping people with that. But the easy way, I think, is we actually have a free built-in tool that allows you to add voiceover slides. So you could literally just drop in your slides and click record and start recording voiceover, and you don't need any outside software. That's built in for free inside Thinkific. So you just put in your slides and you hit record and start recording. The only thing I would suggest, because I can get pretty deep into the gear. I've built studios. We have the room I'm in right now is all soundproofed. We have nice microphones and lighting. But I actually, most of the time when I'm producing stuff, my whole gear setup is kind of less than $100. So The one thing I would say is worth investing in is a decent microphone. So I like the ATR 2100, or the Snowball is $60. The ATR 2100 is $110. I think or the Yeti is about $120. So any of those are great to just plug in and are excellent for looks like we might have lost you there. But any of those are excellent for just getting rolling right away. And I wouldn't worry too much about the camera or lighting or anything else like that. I just find that the microphone is the one thing where it's generally the mic that's built into your laptop or your computer is not going to be great quality. It's going to sound a little echoey and thin. So investing in a decent microphone is a great way to get started. The next step from that, I even right now I'm using just the camera on my computer. The lighting's not perfect in here, but if you get decent lighting, even if the cameras built into your laptop are excellent. Let's see. Well, in case we're still broadcasting, I'll keep chatting. It looks like I've lost Heather here. So let's see if we can find her. This is the first time we're trying this out, the whole recording and going Facebook Live with an interview. So it's an interesting experience. Let's see.